everybody. Another position, another night. Talking tight ends at 2 a.m. Ayo. Let's just get right fucking into it, guys. You already know the vibes. Number 15, we got Brant Keithy out of Utah. Nice athletic receiver. Might not play too much on the line. They did a lot of like screens and up the middles with him and whatnot. Good little receiver threat, I think, can sketch out a little role from maybe in the league here of the NFL that we're talking about. 14, Gavin Bartholomew out of Pitt. Nice, big, physical, contested catch receiver. I like him, his jump ball ability, and have you whatnots and those sitches. Number 13, we got Jackson Hayes out of Georgia Tech. He's he's probably the best blocker in this class, but really not much of a threat receiving wise, or he definitely would have been like top 10, top 5, damn near potential, but he has great effort. He'll probably be on a team and make a role because a lot of 12 personnel. He's an extension of the line, like San Fran, those teams with good zone run schemes that blocking at all positions. He's definitely going to get some looks. 12, we got Thomas Fidone, the second out of Nebraska. A nice little well-balanced tight end, has a little knee injury, not the most fast, but quality, sure-handed receiver, can get downfield a little bit. In 11, we got Jake Brennenstool out of Clemson, another well-rounded tight end. He'd probably be in my top 10 most years, but I think this is a pretty good class. Good hands, good size to him, good enough blocker as we go back. But let's go with my 10. Luke Lachey out of Iowa. Columbus boy, gotta rep my man. His father played for us, and it's like he's the color commentator for the radio. Size freaks, there you go. Projected 5th to 6th, maybe 7th, maybe even undrafted. I don't know, depending on how teams might view the other tight ends I named in either other ones. Shout out my boy G Scott, just for shits and giggles. But very good hands, catcher, good catch radius. We'll get up there and get it. He's a good dump off guy. Not too big on the route tree vertically. Lacks the explosiveness off the line. Could be a better blocker, but you think of someone like Will Dissly, like a solid number 2 spot starter. I mean, I guess Dissly technically right now is the Charger starter, but I think they're going to draft one of these guys. Just smart guy, tough-nosed guy. Isn't the most athletic player, so he's probably lower on boards than me, but, when in doubt, trust Iowa tight ends. So, got my boy there. As we got Arande Gatson, the second out of Syracuse, 4th or 5th round pick, another son of a player. His dad played for the Dolphins, I believe, in the NFL. Good body control, good contested catch guy. Jumps up there, gets it. And the opposite for Lachey, he is a vertical threat. McCord threw a lot of seam routes up the middle to him. Very good at that. Good, pretty solid yards after the catch. Nothing crazy. He's not going to juke you or anything, but a good athlete. He's pretty much a big tight end or a big wide receiver. He'll probably play a lot in the slot or off the line. Not too much of his hands in the ground. Won't bring you much on the blocking end, and for a guy his size, he can be more aggressive and can just have a better burst off the line as well. And second level isn't too crazy. You'll see a lot of Darren Waller comps. Prime Darren Waller. I mean, he has the talent to do that. Darren was a relative unknown on a practice squad as a receiver. The Raiders found him, put some weight on him, make a tight end, but a more leveled comp, you think of Ladarius Green, a nice big physical tight end. Wasn't the best blocking, but a good enough receiver threat for teams. So saw that comp, I liked it. I said put it on the keynote. You guys know how it'd be. Number 8, Terrence Ferguson out of Oregon. Let's just say he's going to be a 4th rounder exactly. I don't know. He could be a little earlier, a little later. Again, good ball tracking as well. Good, um, like changing his body, catching it, difficult angles, pretty good athlete, I'd say. Good fluidity, smooth out of routes and running with the ball. Isn't the toughest though, not much yards after the catch, after contact. His contact bounce can get better. His routes could get, a little more reformed, more crisp, uh, different styles. It's not too verse of a route tree, but I think we've got like Tyler Higbee, my boy. Good, reliable, solid starting pass catcher type. I think he could be that. Put him in a system that does like, a lot of play action. I think he can get in the middle of the seams and be good at that. Number 7, Mitchell Evans at Notre Dame. 4th to 5th round pick again, sure. Dealt with some injuries this year, so hopefully he can stay healthy. But very solid hands, good IQ, knows how to sit in the zone. Middle of the field guy, isn't the fastest. With the ball in his hands, is not going to outrun anyone. Limited route tree, like I was saying, more underneath stuff. But I think with a guy like Cameron Brate, he could be a solid starter when staying healthy. Smart guy, can improve blocking a tad just with the techniques. I think he's pretty solid though in that aspect. And just be a well-rounded, balanced tight end in this league. I think he's good at that. And from one guy who lost to us in the playoffs to another, Gunnar Helm out of dumb old Texas. Another 4th or 5th round pick. I like him a lot. Good athlete. Really good catch radius. Very good middle of the field at all levels. I don't have any concerns there route-wise. Doesn't get too open in separation, but good hands, good in traffic. He's a good run blocker. He can get better at pass blocking. Get more at the umph and pad level. But again, I think someone like Dalton Schultz, he could be a quality starting tight end in this league. Very, very talented, balanced all-around tight end, which is, you guys know what I like. Number 5 is Elijah Arroyo out of the U. 2nd to 3rd round pick. I think he's a good athlete. They might like him more than the couple of guys that I got in ahead of him. But very good route runner. Another guy with good IQ, manipulating the defense, getting into the zones, can run vertically, good agility, good movement after the catch. I know that's a concern for some people, but he's broken off long runs. Granted, he was wide open, but I think he could, get some yardage after the catch. Could play better play strength. Again, a guy his size, he's not as physical as you'd think or want. Hand placement, he really just doesn't have that technique when it comes to blocking. You think of a guy like Logan Thomas, there's a lot of different comps you've seen, but I think someone like Logan, who, at his best, switched over from quarterback and became a really solid, productive tight end. I think he can do that. A lot of production and targets, I think he can get that in offense. Then number 4, one of my guys, Mason Taylor out of LSU. Again, another father-son, the great Jason Taylor. So, great IQ, has a knack for just playing football, He just knows the game well. Very comfortable, no situations too big. Very smooth, very good route runner. Great soft hands, He moisturizes well. But again, pad level, he blocks a little high and he'll get pushed back for that, and isn't the best vertical threat, as we've seen with a couple of guys like Arroyo and Gatson. So he might be more of a dump off guy, yards after catch guy, but someone like Tucker Kraft, I think he will definitely develop into a solid starting tight end in this league. He has all the lineage and athleticism to do so. Like him a lot. Number 3, Harold Fannin Jr. out of Bowling Green. Let's just say 3rd round pick. I think there'll be people higher on the other guys just because of where Fannin came from, but like Genty, when he played against leveled competition, or higher competition like Texas A&M and Penn State, he was a monster. He produced at a high level, great yards after the catch, maybe the best with the ball in his hands in this class. Great versatility. You can line him up in a myriad of ways. He's in that Delanie Walker family. That's why we got the Isaiah Likely comp. Any athletic tight end with yards after the catch, we're just gonna comp him to Likely, but it's it's warranted. I think he's gonna be a really good weapon for teams. Blocking, he probably won't give you much. Play strengths could get better. But I think it could be, and again, I think he'll be a very solid piece for a team, a great weapon for him. Number 2, we got Colston Loveland out of. Yeah, got him as a first-round pick. Really good agility, good hands. I don't have much cons on him, really. I had to make shit up. He's not the best blocker, but he's a really good weapon. He's not. People are concerned about his versatility because he might not be a hand of the dirt tight end. Needs his blocking improved, but I don't know. Big slots are the thing now, and I think he has it. I think he has a knack for getting open, good hands. Just he's going to be a solid tight end. I just don't see how he fails. Sam Laporta, good comp for him. Yeah, really good athlete. I think he's one of the 32 best players in this draft. So got him as a first round pick. So let me clean my mouth having to compliment a Michigan player into Penn State, as Tyler Warren, of course, is mine and a lot of people's tight end 1. Again, should be a first-round pick. Great athleticism, just an athlete, just a football player. Good versatility. He's playing quarterback for him, running back, center, snap it. Drew Aller throws a bomb to him. He catches it anyway. Just great all-around tight end. Isn't the fastest, isn't going to outrun people, but he'll run through you. You guys have probably seen the Jeremy Shockey comps. You guys know I love 2000s people I grew up watching comps. Jeremy Shockey Prime Shockey was a monster. And Warren and Colston, I think coming in, they'll be top 10 tight ends in this league. Like they have that talent to consistently be those type of players. The blocking technique can improve. If you want to nitpick a lot, a lot of people say that it's like just hand placement or body or lower body setup might not be the best, but I like these guys, man. I just don't. Me, I'm not going to nitpick too much on players. Everyone can improve in every aspect, but I think he's one of the top 10 players in this draft. I think he's going to be a sure thing. Watch him be a fucking bust now. Anyway, this has been another fun production here at the King Kaleb headquarters. I know you guys are salivating at the mouth. You can't wait. My next video will be on O-linemen. I'm going to do tackles and guards just to speed up the process. The drafts is in like 9 days now. So we're getting close to it. I'm going to try to do it earlier next year. I've just been lazy as fuck. But as always, this has been your boy King Kaleb here signing the fuck out.